Hi everyone. Welcome to our weekly Skate Happy Q&A with Christine. For anyone joining us today for the first time or listening later to the recording, my name is Christine Reeves Beleznay, and I'm a high performance coach helping athletes of all kinds of sports figure out the mind-body connection, getting their brain and their body in alignment so they can unlock peak performance. As a mental coach, I can help you perform better, especially if the reason you're not performing well is between your ears. Your coach coaches you from the neck down, and I coach you from the neck up. As a former skater who competed at the international level, I know what it felt like to have dealt with performance anxiety and competition nerves. And being both a off-ice and on-ice coach, seeing my skaters struggle to perform up to their abilities and achieve their goals, well, from my experience, if you ask me, the mental part is the most important piece of the puzzle. A lot of people spend their whole lives improving their physical skills, and they forget the main and important part is getting your brain to cooperate with you. That's what I do with my one-on-one coaching in person or over Skype, FaceTime, or Zoom. As well, I offer group mental toughness sessions in person at your club or over Zoom teleconferencing. So if you'd like more information, please visit my website at www.figureskatingtraining.com. And thanks to all of you, we are now helping to develop this fabulous group of athletes, parents, and coaches called the Skate Happy Community. So keep spreading the word. I want to thank everyone who joined me last week and welcome you back as well as our new friends. And thank you for sending in your great questions. Keep them coming. I encourage you to use the chat box to share your thoughts and experiences, as well as any questions you have about our conversation today. And don't forget as well, if you have any questions about our conversation today, don't forget to use the comment box and the like and thumbs up, and especially the share button. We need to spread the word and open this up to more athletes and skaters. So let's get started. As our skaters are traveling soon to compete at the provincial winter games across Canada, I want to wish them all the best in their endeavors and hope to discuss how to hope that they have a great experience and wish them all the best in their endeavors. So to start out, I thought it would be appropriate to discuss how to manage pre-competition nerves and self-doubt. The anxiety that develops prior to competition comes from the what ifs, and it's natural and instinctive, and it's just that ancient reaction to the unknown. So if you remember our formula, thoughts create emotions and feelings, which produce actions and behaviors. So stress and anxiety increases due to focus on the uncertainty of the outcome or our what if thoughts. Will I skate well? What if I fall? What if the other skaters are better than me? What will happen if I fail? And the anxiety manifests itself as butterflies in your stomach, heart rate elevates, your brain fogs, muscle stiffness, and you may even begin to sweat. So these are all the physical reactions to those thoughts of fear and worry. If you get any of these before you perform or have any of those what if thoughts, click the like button or thumbs up and share how you feel when you get anxious or nervous. So this is the brain's response to fear, that fight, flight, or freeze reaction. And it's hardwired into the most ancient part of our brain. So countering this response is key to being able to remain calm and in control. I encourage the skaters who work with me to develop and practice their pre-competition plan. Part of that plan is acknowledging what we are in control of and not in control of. How we view those factors or situations that are not in our control is crucial to maintaining a positive perspective and outlook about the competition. So, tip number 1, develop a pre-competition plan. Your plan should be personalized for what works for you. How you prepare prior to the competition, making sure you have everything that you need, your equipment and all your accessories for costume, hair, emergencies, everything is prepared beforehand. There should be no rushing around in the morning trying to get everything ready. Okay, that just adds stress and anxiety. Your physical and mental warm-up at the rink, tailored for you and what gets you into your peak performance state. Also, how you will handle adversity or last-minute changes that affect your plan, whether it be a last-minute change of time to compete, or the flight that you compete in gets changed, or even traffic on the way to the rink that makes you arrive later than you planned, can cause fear and anxiety. So pre-planning for any adversity is important to maintaining a feeling of confidence. Having and sticking to your competition plan, your on-ice warm-up plan, also helps to maintain confidence and the feeling of having a plan and being prepared. So does anyone already have a plan? If you do, put it in the comment section, share it with us, and also share what is the most effective part of your plan, what you could absolutely never do without. Tip number 2, your control and not in control list. So make a list of what is in your control. Reframe, make a list of what's in your control to be successful, and then make a plan to do everything within your ability to be as prepared and trained as you can be. Okay, then make a list of what is not in your control and reframe any negative self-talk that causes you to worry or have anxiety, and then let it go. Acknowledge that there are factors in sport, especially in figure skating, that are not in your control. Okay, therefore they're a waste of your energy, a waste of your time worrying about them. Training yourself to focus on the factors of your sport that you can change, train for, or prepare for will give you a sense of control that will allow for the building of confidence and those empowering feelings. Tip number 3, using your breathing and visualization. So use your breathing exercises to relax and manage your heart rate and your breathing rate. The visualization and breathing exercises, when combined, are proven tools that most elite of athletes and high-performing business people even use to be successful. If you've been using this tool, give me a thumbs up. Tip number 4, trust your training. This is where your positive self-talk and affirmations come into play. Once you have done everything that you're capable of doing to prepare for the competition using your positive self-talk, well, it's time to acknowledge that you are trained, you are prepared, and you are ready. So hopefully you have put in everything that you need to put in prior to that competition. You've done everything that you can. You have done as much as you can up until the point of the competition. And you're ready to transition from the training mindset to the competition mindset of showing what you are capable of doing, allowing your muscle memory to do its job, and trust your preparation. Trust your coaches and trust your training. It is that understanding of moving from the learning and training phase of the practice mindset to the performance phase of the competition mindset. This is a difficult transition for many skaters, as unlike team sports such as hockey, baseball, and other sports like team sports, which spend 90% of time in the competition mindset, figure skating spends probably less than 10% in the competition mindset and 90% in the practice mindset, which makes it important to create opportunities to practice getting into that competition mindset. This is where your simulations come into play, any shows or any opportunities to get in front of someone and do your programs, practicing that performance phase of the competition mindset. So part of the training in our mental toughness training programming involves teaching this ability to shift from the practice mindset to the competition mindset. Changing your mindset is a process that needs constant attention and practice, just like your technical elements that you train every day. So our 4 tips for pre-competition: develop a pre-competition plan and practice it consistently, acknowledging what's in our control and what is not, and then letting go of what is not in our control. Use your mental toughness tools to manage your physiological state, self-talk, and nerves. Making the transition from the practice mindset into the competition mindset for peak performance. And trust your training. You are trained, you are ready, you are prepared, so go do it. Please contact me if you would like more information on being able to be more prepared and confident in competition, or to learn how to transition from the practice mindset to the competition mindset. I'd love to help you. So I received 2 questions that are quite similar, similar struggles that both student athletes and busy parents and professionals alike deal with every day. So let's read the first one, and hopefully we can get to the second question. It says, I often arrive at skating feeling stressed about school or an argument that I had with my mom or my friend, and have difficulty focusing on my training and changing my mood. I feel sometimes like I just don't want to be there. How do I get myself into a better mood so I can focus better and have a good session? My sessions are so inconsistent. Wow, what a great question. So as a skater or athlete, when you arrive at your training session, whether it be at the rink, gym, or track, what is the first thing that your coaches request that you do? Any ideas? Put it in the chat box. Well, they want you to make sure that you warm up properly so that you are physically ready to begin your skating session. So just prior, we spoke of the need to transition from the practice mindset to the competition mindset. It is important to transition also from a sedentary day at school where you're sitting and lots of thinking, or at work, to be ready to have a successful physical training session. That is one of the purposes, of which there are many, of the physical dynamic warm-up. So just as the physical dynamic warm-up is scheduled and routinely done, so too should the mental warm-up be scheduled and practiced routinely. There are a number of tools that are used in mental toughness to help a skater transition from school, work, or other parts of life to that of the athlete needing to be focused on training and ready and motivated to take on the stresses of the sport. Having a well-planned mental reset after your school or work day, and then a mental mind set before you step into the rink and on the ice is crucial to be able to leave the thoughts and stresses of the day behind you. It sets up an expectation that athletes need to get their minds prepared as well as their bodies. The more times an athlete practices this process of reset, the more easily and effectively he or she will be able to successfully use their positive performance reset mindset when needed. So think about the purpose of the physical warm-up: to prepare your body for whatever you're asking it to do: train, practice, or compete. We know the fact that our bodies need some deliberate preparation to perform optimally. Well, that's interesting. Well, what's interesting, rather, is that while most acknowledge that our minds also need to be ready in order to perform optimally, most haven't made it a normal part of their training that our minds also need deliberate preparation to be in a state of mental readiness. It's of equal importance to the success of the practice session to have a mindset that is ready to take on learning, obstacles, adversity, without the distractions of past practices, social or academic stresses, personal disagreements or obligations, which add to the frustration, the lack of focus, and frankly, slow skill development. So remember, these solutions and tips, they're just a framework and suggestions. As you work through this, make sure that you make it your own. Find out what works for you. It's important to note that your mindset tools can be used in all different situations: at school, work, and even personal interactions. They're not just for on ice. So tip number 1, create a pre-skate warm-up routine. Have a buffer that helps the brain transition from one activity to another. Listening to a pre-chosen playlist that will de-stress or calm and help you let go of the day's hard work is a good option. Box breaths and body scan meditation exercises help to ground the mind and bring it into the present. Be intentional about how you arrive at your sessions. Make a commitment to yourself about what kind of attitude and state that you want to enter the rink with before you even get there. A decision or choice to be positive, motivated, and a desire to be at one's best in a positive mindset will help you be more effective and successful than arriving at the rink feeling stressed, upset, or distracted. Take a moment to remember why you love to skate. Too often we get caught up in everyday training, the mistakes that need to be improved, what's not perfect yet. Keeping the joy of your sport as your primary motivation will help you achieve your goals and be a lot more enjoyable and motivating when the training gets tough. Use your visualization of past wonderful and enjoyable moments to remind yourself of feeling happy about getting on the ice, enjoying the feeling of the movement to the music, the speed and flow, and the great feeling of performing all your elements well. By the time you're stepping into the arena, you will begin to be mentally and physically prepared to leave school or work behind and enjoy the training day. Your thoughts, attitude, and mood are a choice, your choice. Take full responsibility and control of your thoughts before the start of your session. As you step onto the ice, leave any negative thoughts, negative energy levels at the boards. Choose to step on the ice to do the best you can with what you have that day. Leave the baggage at the boards. Great saying. Remember to discard outcome expectations or strict demands of yourselves. Let go of the unrealistic expectations that you have to feel perfect every time, or that every day, training day has to be perfect, but that you choose to have an attitude of calm determination and courage to just do the best you can that day without the pressure of huge and at times unrealistic expectations. So our wrap up for your buffer between your day and your training. You want your mental warm-up routine to have the most effective training session possible. Should include focusing on the process, not the outcome. Getting into a confident and positive state of mind. Visualization to help remember the good feelings and letting go of the outcome expectations. Managing your nerves with reframing and positive talk. So if you've been using any of the tips from the Skate Happy Q&A, please share with us in the comment box which tools you've used and how they've helped you. And again, if you'd like to learn more or need any help applying these tips, please email me at christine@figureskatingtraining.com. So let's move on to question 2. Let me read here. There are so many times that I am so overwhelmed with schoolwork that I just can't concentrate on my training, and I have had difficulty controlling my emotions. I have even broken down into tears on the ice. How do I handle both school and my skating workload? Well, tough question. Being a student athlete is challenging, and without a good plan, routine, and time management skills, a skater can become stressed to the point that it begins to affect both their training and their academics. Thoughts of becoming negative, causing feelings of anxiety and worry about not passing, thoughts of failing, causing emotions to become unmanageable and overflowing in frustration, procrastination, anger, and even tears are common with student athletes that haven't strengthened their minds to handle the pressures and stresses of being a student athlete. When you're participating in a sport, time is at a premium. This is why student athlete time management is such an important consideration. Between classes, homework, practices, and travel competitions, it can be a challenge to fit everything in. And that goes for parents and business people. There's lots going on in your life, demands of your time coming at you from all areas. So great time management strategies, student athletes and parents and business people alike can juggle all the responsibilities and accomplish their academic and athletic goals. There are many strategies that you can use, but I find these 5, as a former student athlete myself and mother of a student athlete, to be effective and helpful. You will find some work for you and some you may already be doing. As always, use what works for you. 5 strategies to help high school student athletes and even university athletes with time management and avoid being overwhelmed are number 1, prioritize. Student athletes have a never-ending to-do list, and prioritization is important. Athletes should assess academic assignments, study time, test prep, group projects, and personal tasks, and rank them in order of importance and when time allows. Work on the top priorities first. I highly recommend a big dry erase whiteboard to be mounted on your wall. Things are easier to organize and plan if they're out of your head and posted in big print where there's lots of room for reminders and notes. Breaking each task down into smaller chunks will make the task more manageable and less overwhelming. And so then you can go to your training session knowing that you are organized, you're planned, you've got it all tasked out, and you know that you'll be able to get it done. Choose when you can squeeze homework and study time in and where. So school lunch hour, between sessions, during a Zamboni clean, travel to the rink, when you're waiting to be picked up, etc. They're just a few of the times during a day that can be used more effectively. And although it sounds simple, prioritization is one of the most effective strategies to help student athletes manage time. It ensures that most important goals are accomplished first, and that way time is not wasted on tasks that aren't crucial or need to be handed in first. So you want to be able to get that organized so that you're not as overwhelmed and stressed with all the work that you've got to do. And master your schedule. Number 2, practices on and off ice training are rarely missed because they are sort of non-negotiable and scheduled at specific times. The same time management strategies can be applied to academic or tasks at work. Use a calendar or planner to write in all classes, exams, practices, workouts, and competitions. Then schedule in time for homework, group project meetings when necessary, and study sessions for tests and exams. The trick to this time management strategy for student athletes is to stick to it. If there is an hour scheduled for homework, head straight for the library, your room, or a quiet area where you won't be disturbed or distracted. And remember, shut off all the social media notifications. By making academics just as important as your athletics, you are more likely to make good grades, avoid falling behind and getting overwhelmed, which is also often carried onto the ice and affects your performance too. So everything suffers. Number 3, choose your class times wisely when you're able, and communication. If possible, work with your school counselor and parents to choose class times or class time blocks that will fit in with your training schedule, and speak with your teachers and make them aware of the demands of your sport, and if possible, request assistance and extensions when necessary. Keep open communication with teachers, coaches, and parents. It's very important so that work and training load don't become overwhelming, and stress behavior becomes misinterpreted. Make use of your time. Number 4, one of the best strategies for managing time as a student athlete is to maximize travel time and any time in between training sessions or classes. Chances are there is plenty of time that's spent wasted on the internet or social media or just goofing around. Those hours are valuable opportunities for productivity. Now, you can try the 50-50 approach. So if you don't want to sacrifice time with friends or time on social media, then try the 50-50 approach. You could do, say, 3 days a week, use your break time for homework, and 3 days not. Or if there are 2 breaks between sessions, use 1 for homework and 1 for time with friends or on social media. Or even use a reward system. Use time with friends and social media as a reward and incentive to get your work done. So our little wrap up for time management for student athletes. Prioritize your study assignments, group projects, and other responsibilities. Master your schedule. Make sure you get it down. It's listed. You've plotted out the times. Choose class times wisely, if possible. Make good use of make use of wait or travel time, and try the 50-50 or reward system to encourage getting work done. So when it comes to time management, everyone's different. It takes time to find the strategies that work for each individual. Once student athletes master their time management, there will be success in both your sport and academics. Well, that is all the questions we can fit in today. Please join me next week as we tackle other mindset issues, and do send in your questions for next week and any comments on our session this week. I would love to hear from you. If anyone has any questions regarding our topics today, please contact me at Christine@figureskatingtraining.com. And don't forget to check out my website, www.figureskatingtraining.com. If your skater continues to struggle with their mindset, please contact me and I will let you know how I can help. So if you missed this or any previous session or would like to re-listen to the discussion, I will be posting the video on YouTube, Facebook, and my website. Have a wonderful evening, my friends, and I look forward to seeing you right here next week. So skate happy and get your mental toughness reps in.